I'm gonna show you how to have Chick-fil-A on a Sunday. Hi, I'm Carrie with eatingonadime.com, and today we're making Copycat Chick-fil-A Nuggets at home. They taste like the real thing, and you can have them any day of the week. You can find the full recipe and the link in the description below, or you can just go to eatingonadime.com, type in Chick-fil-A, and you will see this recipe plus a lot of our other Copycat recipes. The first thing we need is chicken breast. I believe you could do chicken thighs with this as well, boneless, skinless. We did boneless, skinless chicken breast that we have diced up. That one needs to be separated a little bit more into perfect size pieces, just cut up like the size you would of Chick-fil-A nuggets. And then we need pickle juice. Now, some people will comment on our recipe and say, I worked at Chick-fil-A and that they don't use pickle juice. And that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to replicate the same flavors of Chick-fil-A, and you can make it at home. And so instead of making everything from scratch and trying to come up with their vinegar mixture, we're using pickle juice because it's a perfect substitute to get that tanginess that comes in the Chick-fil-A nuggets. So we have our 2 chicken breasts already diced up, and then we need about a cup of pickle juice. So I am draining the jar. Hopefully I'm gonna do a decent job, but I don't think I am. There we go. How are we? A little bit over. And you can just use regular dill pickles. I don't recommend sweet pickles, but it's great. Like when you finish off a jar of pickles, just leave the juice in there and you're like, hey, it's time for me to make some Chick-fil-A nuggets at home. You can also actually freeze the pickle juice, and then you could just thaw it when you need it ready to go. Like you could freeze it in 1 cup increments. So that way you'll have it for our fun copycat recipes. So we're gonna pour this right on top of this chicken, and we're going to marinate it. Now I'm just gonna make sure all this chicken is coated in the juice, and we're gonna marinate this for 30 minutes, or you can do 60 minutes, and you can even do it overnight. I'm gonna head to the fridge because I like to keep this in the refrigerator while it's marinating because, you know, it's chicken. And so we're gonna head to the fridge, and I will see you as soon as it's done marinating. It's been marinating for about 60 minutes, and so now we're ready to continue. The first thing we want to do is drain the pickle juice off of the chicken. So I'm going to head to the sink and get that drained. Okay, so now we're just going to drain it. I'm just going to use my hand because we're going to use this bowl to continue our mixture. Now we just need 1 egg. We're going to do this in a small bowl, 1 cup of milk, and we're going to whisk this together. Then we're gonna take this mixture that we just whisked together and pour it right on top of those marinated chicken nuggets. Now I'm just gonna set this off to the side because we're gonna let that settle, and then we're going to get our flour mixture together. But we have a secret tip. It's not really a secret, we've been doing this for a while, but we're actually going to shake the chicken. So instead of doing a batter and getting your hands all mixture, we have a fun little tip on how you can just throw it in a baggie and shake it up, and they're perfectly coated every time. Today we're going to use a gallon zipper bag, and then I'm going to use my freezer bag holders. We will have these linked as well. They're linked in the post and in the link in the description, but these are awesome because what they do is they actually hold up your bag and hold it open. While you don't have to have it for this, it's really nice because it holds it open while we add our flour and everything like that. So they're not expensive. I think you can get like 4 for under 12 bucks. Now we're gonna add 1 cup of all-purpose flour. We need a tablespoon of powdered sugar. Don't let that freak you out. Gives that little bit of sweetness that we need. Then we're going to do a teaspoon of salt, pepper, and paprika. Pepper. I got the paprika, the pepper, and then now the salt. Put my lids back on. Then we're just gonna give this a shake. So instead of stirring it together, we're gonna close the lid, or zip up the lid, zip up the bag. Let me move this out of the way. Make sure you have air in the bag, and then just give it a shake. Now, when you have air in the bag, it makes it easier to shake up. If you were to take out the air, then it would be difficult to shake it all up. So make sure you leave that air in there. Okay, so now I'm gonna open this back up. Now I'm just gonna put this back on my holder because we're going to toss our chicken nuggets in here so we can coat them super quickly and mess-free. Now we're just gonna drain off the excess now that this has been soaking in this. Now I wanna say, if you're wanting to increase this recipe to make more chicken, you could probably use the same amount of liquid because remember, we're just soaking it in. So if you wanted to increase this by 50%, I bet you another chicken breast would easily fit into this mixture and you wouldn't have to actually increase that. So we're gonna give this a quick drain. Yes, I'm just gonna use my hands because it's so easy to just wash up. See if I can get just a little bit more. Now we're gonna add these in here. I'm gonna use some tongs just because I have been notorious to make a mess when I just pour straight in. And I don't wanna pour in that, oops, I don't wanna pour in the excess chicken bites. Okay, last one. See, they all got coated super quickly with just a few tosses. No more dredging and dipping ever again. Try our little simple method and this will be a game changer anytime you're breading anything or frying anything. Now in a large stock pot, we are heating up some oil. Now we turned it on high and then I'm just gonna add a little bit more oil. You want peanut oil or like canola oil, works great. And you want it just deep enough to where the chicken nuggets can float freely. So you don't want it like where it's only a ½ inch. So you want a little bit more than that, closer to 1 inch deep. It's been cooking for a little bit and I highly recommend you get one of these meat thermometers. We also use it for our oil just to give us an idea of where it's at. We want this to be anywhere from like 350 to 400 degrees. So we're at 300 right now. So just a few more minutes and we're ready to start frying. Okay, one final check and we're up to around 400. So we are ready to fry. Now we have the chicken in the bag and we're just going to lower them in and see how it started bubbling. That's how you know it is nice and hot. I'm doing them one at a time because it's just easier that way for me. I don't want any splash, but you could do a couple. Just don't dump them in. Use metal tongs. You don't want to use plastic since these are actually touching the grease when I put them in. You don't want it to melt. And I also like to keep them separated because I want to make sure they're not sticking to each other in the grease. I try not to over crowd the pan. So this one I'm going to cook in 2 batches. We're going to let these cook for about 3 to 5 minutes. I wanted to pull one out and show you. Then I'll take that meat thermometer too, stick it right in the middle, make sure not to go all the way through, and that's how you can check it to see. So right now we're not there yet. We want 165. And they'll also float to the top when they're finished. Okay, the chicken is ready. We have a plate that I've lined with paper towels, so that way the grease can drain off. I'm gonna place them right on top. Look how beautiful they look. And one extra tip from working at a restaurant for years is right when it comes fresh out of the grease, you want to sprinkle it on top with salt. Even my puppy is excited about these. And now it's time for our second batch. Once these are all in here, we just need about 3 to 5 minutes to cook. Now, just one extra tip, right after I get them all in there and let them cook for a minute, I kind of like to take my tongs and move them around because I want to make sure that they're not stuck together. And then we just let them fry. Ah, they smell amazing. See, now you can have Chick-fil-A any time of the week. It's super simple and easy to make. Now, a few things. This is so easy to make a triple, quadruple batch. As you saw, they only take 3 to 5 minutes to cook in the grease, and you can easily keep repeating this. You can even save these, so you could cook them and then freeze them and then just pop them in an air fryer anytime you want fresh chicken nuggets. But they taste so good, guys. So there are more tips and tricks on our site as well. I just can't wait. Sorry, I have to eat now. I'm gonna save this one off to the side so I don't eat it on a YouTube video, but I just want you to know that I will eat it because it's so good. Sorry, I just gotta keep. It's so good. Watch me eat. I want to make sure you grab the link. It's in the description below, or you can go to eatingonadime.com to find the full recipe and all our tips and tricks, but you can also find our other Chick-fil-A recipes as well. We have the homemade Chick-fil-A sauce, the Polynesian sauce, I believe it's the honey barbecue. We have the Chick-fil-A sandwich. We've got a ton. We love making copycat recipes, so make sure you head on there as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any more of our family-friendly recipes. I hope you make this. I can't wait to see what it looks like. Make sure you go to the recipe and leave a review on the recipe so that way we can hear from you and see how you love it. I think you're gonna love it too. Okay, I'm out of here, friends. I gotta get to eating some nuggets. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time in my kitchen. Bye, friends.